Rushing river of God, we can't control ourselves anymore, the way we go.
Hey, what's up? It's Rob. I just wanted to answer some questions that I got. One of the first questions that I wanted to talk about today was the question of true love, marriage, finding the right one, so to speak. And yeah, I got a lot to talk about on that topic. I mean, on love alone, I could probably do 20 videos. I mean, easily, just of what I've learned. More in the context of maybe the Bible, and more in the context of how God has revealed His great love for us, and how that kind of the love that's revealed through Christ totally and completely just destroys any other picture of love that we have. In fact, a lot of our love stories of redemption that have been written over history, are so close to the picture of Christ going to the cross as atoning sacrifice. I mean, passion that pours itself out even unto death. And so, one of the things that I wanted to kind of warn you about, you know, kind of as I start talking about this, is if you're easily offended, my answer to that question might not be exactly what you're looking for. But I'm going to do my best to be honest and open about it. Ever since I was a kid, even just a teenager, I was very into girls, and I was very emotional, I guess would be the word for it. And I felt powerful emotions, you know, having crushes and falling in love, you know, as a teenager, and being in different relationships. So, I did a lot of dumb stuff as well, just in the context of being destructive with my heart and allowing myself to get really messed up. But the first point that I wanted to make is that if the prospect of finding a mate, the prospect of falling in love, and all of those things are like the consuming desire of your heart and like the number one thing that you're after in this life, you are going to invest yourself in something that will never fulfill you in itself. Love in itself will never fulfill the depths of your heart like love between two people. That's not the end-all be-all. A lot of people think it is, because that's the most real thing that they've experienced, and that's why people would be really offended or upset when they hear me say that's a bad move, is to consider that the priority is to find that person. You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna end up getting you what you really desire, because your heart is eternal. Your heart was created with eternal longings and eternal passions and desires that cannot be fulfilled in a weak person, a weak human, I guess, to put it that way. I don't like saying that, but just in like a weak person, because they're imperfect. They're fallible. I mean, they can tear your heart to shreds. They can also die. So I think that's why the greatest commandment is for us to love the Lord our God with all of our heart. I guess a Celtic translation of that is to love the Lord your God with all of your everything. And then the second one is to love others as you would love yourself. It's just because that to take something that you're supposed to get from God, which is the fullness of love you're supposed to experience, is from God. If you put anything else in that place, like getting it from a person, it's idolatry. Idolatry, like in the Bible, I know that word is kind of archaic, maybe to our society nowadays, because we don't make little statues about them. But idolatry, really all that it was going to something else to get what you're supposed to get from God, if that makes any sense. It's like adultery almost, like to turn away from God and to fornicate with an idol. At any rate, not to go too far down that bunny trail, I once heard this quote, and when I first heard it, it really challenged me, and it really kind of shocked me, and it startled me. But it took a long time, but it's become a reality to me. And it was this woman, and she said that her perspective on life was to fall in love with Christ and to fall in love with God and to run after Him as fast as she could, with the possibility that someday she may look to her side and someone's running alongside of her. To me, that was like, how could you do that? Because at that time, I'd been dating a lot. I'd probably been in and out of relationships recently. When love's fresh, and especially if someone's watching this and they've been in a relationship recently, if I'm saying this to you and you don't have that burning passion for Christ, that's going to be really kind of foreign to you. And it was to me. It frightened me. It terrified me. Because I thought, how could that be? Because that's like all I wanted was to fall in love. And I never knew that the kind of love that I desired would be found in Christ if I persevered through the garbage of this life and the mess, and to fellowship with Him, and to grow in Him, and to grow in prayer, and to come to a point to where you're moved beyond comprehension by His love, and it's fulfilling, it's powerful. But so that's become my reality in a sense. Like I'm not in this for to get a person. Like I'm not gonna, if I die and I never was married or never found the right one, I'm not gonna feel like I lost out on anything, because I mean just the other side of this life is going to be eternity, and I have all of eternity and so many people in Christ to love in such a more powerful way, without our flesh and our selfishness and our just all that junk. I mean, just to be, oh my gosh, I can't. It blows my mind. And I would like to take future videos to expound on my point, because I believe that if you touch that place of eternity, if you touch that place of eternal love, and you have an understanding of Christ going to the cross fully for your sin, and knowing that passion didn't even turn back even when you were turned away from Him, that kind of love that finds you, it's just like this big, beautiful, amazing thing that comes into the lowest point and redeems that which it loves. So it's really an incredible thing. So I just wanted to lay that out there, and I'd like to talk about this more. I don't want to make this video too long, but at least to the person that asked me the question, I hope that I didn't like throw you for a loop or anything. I guess there are really practical things that you can do if you're looking to kind of solve the problem of love, which is everybody's dilemma. There are a lot of practical things that we can do to kind of open our eyes to the love that we have in God, and understanding, I mean, this is the key here, is to understand that without God as the number one in our hearts, we will be incapable of loving anyone else to the fullness, to the fullest extent. You could find everything you want in a man and have no way to express that, because you never understood what love really is, because love's revealed in Him. And when we see Him and when we fellowship with Him, we grow more in love. We understand meekness and kindness and humility and submission and all of the things that make love as glorious and amazing as it is. That's not to say that we never pursue mates, or we never allow that to happen, but it is to say though that if that's an idol, tear it down seriously, and ask Him for help. Ask Him what He thinks about that. Don't just take my word for it. Pray to the Lord and just pray to Him and seek His guidance and His will in the context of this, and I think that He'll give you the answers that you're looking for. So that'll be all for today, and check back soon. I'll have more. Take care.